welcome to Yoga for Rock Climbers, everyone. At the beginning of this video, I'd like to describe my approach for teaching Yoga for Athletes content. I take a look at whatever sport I'm teaching an audience of, and I look about what muscles are primarily being used and what muscles are underused. So I focus on releasing the muscles that are primarily being used by whatever sport I'm teaching to, and emphasizing the strength in the small muscles usually that are being overlooked. So when I teach yoga for cyclists, the hamstrings are often being overlooked in terms of strength. And in terms of yoga for rock climbers, it's very much so an upper body sport. However, you can use your legs more to climb effectively. So whereas a lot of climbers overemphasize the upper body strength, maybe end up with a shoulder injury down the road, if you strengthen the legs and release the shoulders, you'll be a more effective athlete with more longevity to enjoy the activity that you love doing. So with Yoga for Rock Climbers, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to translate a normal yoga class to a rock climber specific yoga class. Why is that? Well, because rock climbing is a pulling sport, and yoga primarily has a lot of pushing in the hands into the ground. The shoulder girdle is most healthy when you do a good balance of pulling and pushing. This is why I encourage people whose main activity is yoga to do some curls, do some pulls, maybe go to the local crag and try a little bit of rock climbing. However, I do add some different things in yoga for rock climbing sequences. I add specific types of hip opening to help get certain steps and reaches, and I add a lot more shoulder stretches as well as some planks to get that push strength combined with the pull and a little bit of core stability. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Thank you for joining, everyone. Start at the top of the mat or the top of whatever practice space you may be using. And let's go ahead and just warm up, take some deep breath and stand tall. We'll build a little bit of circulation in the wrists. So little bend in the knees and arms up but fingers down, and then push through the palms, arms down, and take deep breath as we do about 5 of these. Very good. And then we're going to switch to half sun salutes, arms up, and then touch the toes. If your hamstrings are tight, bend the knees. And then hold the shins, come on up, arms up, abs in, touch the toes. You really want to flat back. That's why we hold the shins first, maybe even bend the knees, flat back up. 3 more. Flat back up, abs in. Breathing and flowing smoothly. And without further ado, bring the hands down. Take your first downward dog. You may need to bend the knees a bit for this. Emphasize lifting the hips high. And knees down. Let's warm up the back. Rounding with the exhale. Lengthening with the inhale. Rounding with the exhale. And lengthening with the inhale. A few more rounds. Excellent. And now take a couple little push-ups. I like to make my hands a little wider than the shoulders. Roll your elbows in and squeeze the arms to sides. We'll just do 3 of these. The pushing action is key, but we don't want to overly fatigue the arms. Your arms are probably kind of tired already. Take child's pose, take rest. Very good. And then come up to sitting or kneeling. If your knees hurt, just be propped up a little bit. We're here very briefly. Big step up with the right foot, runner's lunge. At first you may take a shorter step, your knee and ankle are in line. Eventually you take a really long stride, and then you'll stretch more in the hamstring and the hip flexor of the back leg. Hang out here, lift the chest. Switch to a plank. Bring the hands a little forward, come back, push back through the heels so you're stretching your Achilles and calves. I like to have my shoulders not as far forward as the wrists, even though a lot of people teach shoulders above the wrists or even beyond the wrists. The wrists are sensitive, and when your shoulders are a little bit back and your heels are a little bit back, and you really firm your legs, you tap into the core more and you don't load the wrists so much. Deep breath. Excellent job. Kneel down, either sit or just stay a little bit lifted. Tall posture, big step up left side, runner's pose. You got the lunge position, hips down, chest up. And take about 3 breaths here. Very good. Plank pose, top of a push-up. Firm thighs, heels back, and knees down lower all the way. And then working on the core, the posterior chain that is. Lift the chest and send the arms back. Feet stay down the first time and come down. Now lift the legs in the chest, arms lift and come down. Use the core and lift. And let's come back to a downward dog. Big open shoulders, push strong through the hands. Kneel down, elbows down, still building the core a little bit. Walk the legs back, plank on the elbows. Part the shoulder blades and feel deep lifting into the abdominal region. Firm thighs, lifting the front of the muscle against the bone, pressing the front of the thighs against the hamstrings. Heels back, push through the feet, and then come down, separate the hands. Now let's let it all stretch out. We'll keep the chest nice and open, the Sphinx pose. If you feel tight in your chest, make your arms a little wider, turn your hands out a little bit, lift the chest and breathe. Very good, and then take the right arm overhead, roll to the side and hold your head. Flex both feet and lift the top leg several times. And the next time you lift and bend the knee, hold the bent knee and hug it in. And then extend the leg straight up with the other hand on the ground, building a little core and release. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Hold the head, do some lateral lifts, building that lateral core. And then opening that knee, holding the bent knee, hugging it in. You take some balance. If you're falling backwards, you can bend the bottom leg. Otherwise, hold it in for a sec, hold the ground, and then extend the leg up, partway or fully, and come on down. And we'll do one more locust. You can do basic or arms forward, legs lift, arms forward, and then come down. Hands come back, back to plank, our last plank before we get into the releases. We're holding here, parting the shoulder blades, a flat or rounded back. Rounded back really is preferable. That means you're digging into the core muscles more. I really press my heels back. I love getting that calf stretch in the planks. The posture becomes a core strengthener, but we're working on the flexibility as well, and it strengthens the shins by pressing the heels back. And then knees down. Let's go ahead and thread the right arm under and release it. Very good. Thread the left arm under and release it. Very good. Come back to center. Big step up with the right foot. Lengthen the back leg. Come on up and hold the knee. Arms up or keep holding the knee. Crescent lunge. Back heel pressing back, back leg firm, releasing that inner thigh. Building some leg strength. Excellent. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Come up, hold the thigh or arms up. Take some balance. Low sit into the crescent, building the glute as well, keeping the knee forward. A little open builds the glute more, and that's good strength to have in your core. The glutes are part of the core. It's not just your abs. Shoulders down, the neck is long. Excellent. Hands down, knees down. Turn to the side now and open up the legs. Bend your right knee once and pause for about 2 breaths. And then other side. Come back to center. Put a big bend in the knees. Come on up. And opening up the right foot. Turn the back foot in. Next is warrior pose. Keep the knee open and the arms up. If your shoulders are really stiff, you can do like little elbow bend, but otherwise the traditional form is good. Gentle strength for the arms. Sit low into it. The hips are getting nice and open, and switch sides. Open that left foot, turn the back foot in, spreading all the toes. Warrior pose, leveling the hips, and breathing. Excellent. Let's go ahead and release. Come on down. Bend the left knee and pause. Switch to the right leg and pause. Come back to center. Left hand under the right pectoralis. Hand on the lower back, twist up. Switch sides. Right hand under the pectoralis, hand on the lower back, twist up. Very good. Come on down. Big bend in the knees. Come on up. And bring the feet in. Open the toes. Bend the knees 3 times. Getting those hips to really open. Use the hands to help those hips open. Do 3 movements. And then a brief hold. The horse stance, you can use the hands to help open, arms lift optionally, or keep the hands on the knees. Sit as low as you can without hurting your joints. Take some deep breath. Come on up and relax the arms. Slowly bring the feet a little closer and come to the top of the mat. Feet parallel. One more leg strengthening pose, chair. Sit a little bit or sit really low and lift the arms a little bit, or really open the armpits, your choice. Eventually the hands come together as you really extend the arms and keep some weight back in the heels so you're building up the posterior chain. 2 more breaths here, low in the chair, breathing deep, and then hands down, downward dog. And the knees down. Now we're going to do the puppy pose. So hands forward. It's kind of like halfway between down dog and halfway between child. The hips stay kind of high, right above the knees or so, and you're reaching and releasing. Very good. Bring the hands back. Sit on the heels if you can, or sit any way you need. Bring the arms up and take a reverse prayer, releasing all these muscles through here and breathing. Arms release. Next is a big lunge, right foot forward. Move it a little bit wide, hands to the inside and lean down. Either elbows bend a little or eventually your elbows could bend down all the way or on blocks. Good, come on up and switch sides. Left leg up and then bring it a little wider. Turn the foot a little open. And this is a really good type of flexibility to have to getting those long distance reaches with your foot. So you're not just becoming more flexible, you're enhancing your ability to do the sport you love. Stay motivated if it's challenging. Remember, you're enhancing the ability to do the sport you love. Breathing. Good job. Coming back to a downward dog. And then we're going to jump up. And come into a half lift position. Maybe lift a little higher than normal, like holding the knees, maybe bending the knees. Then clasp the hands or hold a stick or a strap. And stretch. Leaving the knees bent is helpful if you're tight in the hamstrings. Arms stretching over, head down, breathing. Big bend in the knees, come on up, arms up, and another reverse prayer. Arms relax, turn to the side again, open the feet, and we're going to do that same type of shoulder stretch, but with the hands clasped behind the back and the feet wide. So hold a strap or a stick if you need, clasp the hands and stretch. Big bend in the knees and then come on up. Bring the heels in, open the toes, one more horse stance. This is really good type of flexibility, just to sort of have that feeling of, being that Spider-Man-like creature on the wall. Hips low, spine tall, the knees are opening, and we're breathing. Sit low. Good, and then come on up and slowly bring the feet together, come back to the top of your mat. Take either neutral spine or a little bit of a back bend, arms up and open, and come back to downward dog. And then knees down, legs come out from underneath, hips back, flex the feet, sit up really tall, and then open the arms. Open through the shoulders, fingertips, and then right down to the hip if you can. If you need to be part way, that's fine, but eventually you really open. This takes a lot of strength, but also it takes a lot of openness to sit in this simple pose with a lot of profound engagement. We're breathing and being steady. And another shoulder opener, hands down, hands, if your legs are long or torso is really long, you're going to want a good amount of space, and we're going to take a basic bridge. So feet flat and lift. Lift and engage the hamstrings. Lift the torso. Try and make a tabletop-like position with the body, and only take the head back if you're really lifting the chest. And then come on down, hips back. You can hold the legs, lift the knees, otherwise arms out, and then we're going to build the boat. Legs extend, they can stay bent, or if you can keep the chest and the knees high, you can extend the legs and point the ankles, building that core.
Good, and then one more time, feet down, hands back. This basic bridge, or tabletop people call it, such a great stretch for the shoulders, but it's also really good at building your hamstrings, your glutes, your back. It's toning the arms in a push-like way. And of course, you're breathing, getting that meditation within the action, finding your inner Zen as you challenge your inner warrior. And then come on down, scoot on up, make sure there's lots of space, come on into the back, knees to chest. Open the arms, legs to left, body twist right. And then other side. Very good. Last pose is butterfly. Feet together, knees open. We're going to do our deep relaxation here. If you are really not comfortable and you want to straighten out your legs, you can. Otherwise, we're just going to take a couple minutes here to do our Shavasana, our deep relaxation, closing the eyes and softening all through the body. Effortless breath. Knees lift and come on up. And we'll conclude in a comfortable seat. Sit nice and tall and do a clearing breath in 1 Om. So breathe in, open mouth, let it out, and then Om. Namaste. Thank you all so much, everyone. If you like this type of content and you're interested in other forms of yoga, yin, vinyasa, hatha yoga, I do a lot of yoga for cyclists, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It also helps to like and give comments. That brings my engagement up, helps me reach more people. And if you want to check out some of my exclusive content, I have a membership you can sign up for at GabrielBenjaminYoga.com. Membership is free, and higher levels of exclusive content go through paid tiers. So something for everyone, something for people of all means. So again, sign up at GabrielBenjaminYoga.com, or you can support this channel in the link below. I have drop-in options for Venmo, PayPal, sliding scale. Give what you can. It helps me and my family out very, very much. And when you support the channel, I can make more great content like this. So hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Have a great time next time you're at the climbing gym or out there on your local crag. Bye everyone. Drink water.